Hey guys, Mrs. Dan's here. So, just going to do this review with you. You can fast forward to whatever question you need help on, and hopefully you find it useful. Anyway, to solve an equation, you always want to add or subtract first. And then when you have a fractional coefficient, instead of dividing by 3/4, it's actually better to multiply by the reciprocal. The 4 cancels with the 4, the 3 cancels with the 3, so you're left with x. And then on this side, you can simplify the 3 with the -6, and your answer is -8/1, which is -8. Which best describes the number of solutions to this equation? So I'm going to solve it. I get x plus 4 equals x minus 4. Right here, I already noticed that there is no solution. We learned that, like, if the coefficient of the variable is the same on each side, the constants are different on each side, it's going to wind up being no solution. If you don't see it right there, then what you should do is subtract x from both sides. And you notice that the x's cancel out on the left and on the right, and you're left with 4 equals -4. And this just doesn't make any sense. So this really has no solution. Number 3, I would subtract 11 first. Then I will divide by 3. So x equals -7/3, choice C. Number 4, I would distribute. Then I would subtract x from both sides. Add 4 to both sides. Remember, your goal is to get x on one side all by itself. I'm going to come over here. I get -12 equals 3x. Finally divide by 3. So x is -4. Choice D. Number 5, which equation has a solution? So we can go and solve each one of these to see which one turns out to have that solution. Or you can substitute in 3.75 in place of y each time. It's not going to work in A, because when I add 3.75 to 1.25, it definitely gets larger, so it can't be the 2.5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This, in part B, it's not going to work either. If I put 3.75, just by adding the whole numbers, the 6, the 2, and the 3 already brings me up to 11. It would be 11.75, so it doesn't turn out to be 10.75. Maybe it's choice C. Maybe 5.25 minus 3.75 turns out to be 1.5. Let's see, we're going to borrow. And I do get 1.50, which is 1.5, so it's choice C. 6 is the same thing. We can substitute the 39 in place each time, or you can go and solve each equation. I'm going to substitute the -39 in. So this would be -39/3, which is -13. And -13 plus 4 gives me a -9, not a +9. So it's not choice A. Here, be really careful of this -x, because this is a -39. So a -39 is really a +39. So really, when I substitute, I am putting 39/3 and then adding on 4. So 13 plus 4 is not 9. It's 17. So it's not choice B. This would also be a 39, because a negative 39 is a positive 39. Divided by 3 is 13, and 13 minus 4 is 9, so it's choice C. The solution to this, 2x minus 60 equals 2x plus 5. This is a no solution. If you don't see it right now, then go ahead and subtract 2x from both sides. And what happens is the x's cancel out from each side. You're left with negative 60 equals 5, which really is not true. That's a no solution. Just so you know, part A, when it says x equals all real numbers, that means infinite number of solutions because it's all numbers, so that's an infinite. Number 8, if we distribute, we get 3x minus 8 equals 2x plus 1. This does have a solution. I don't know what it is until I continue, but if the coefficient of the variable is different on each side, you're guaranteed to have a solution. I'm going to subtract 2x from each side to get x minus 8 equals 1, and then add 8 to each side, so x equals 9. Choice B. The solution to this, I want to add 3x to both sides to get 8x plus 7 equals negative 9, and then subtract 7 from both sides. I'm going to come over here. So 8x equals negative 16. Divide both sides by 8. X equals negative 2. Choice A. And which of the following has a solution of 5? So I could go and plug 5 into each one, or I could solve each equation to find out which one turns out to be 5. I'm just like looking to see if something stands out. I don't know. I guess I will plug in a 5 into each spot. If I put a 5 in here, and if I put a 5 in here, I get negative 60 minus 6 equals negative 50 plus 4. This is a negative 66, while this is a negative 46, so it's not choice A. Choice B, if I plug a 5 into each place, I get 60 plus 6, which is 66, equals 50 minus 4, which is not 66, so it's not choice B. And C, 12 minus 6, those are like terms. I can combine them just to get 6. Does 6 equal 10 times 5 minus 4? 10 times 5 is 50. 50 minus 4 is 46. So, nope, that one doesn't work either. I guess it's choice D. 12 times 5 is 60 minus 6 is 54. And then 10 times 5 is 50 plus 4 is a 54. Yep, it's choice D that works. More solving equations. So solve each equation. This one has no solution. If I subtract 18y from both sides, I get negative 10 equals 2, which is not true, so this has no solution. On number 12, I'll distribute. This has a solution. I'm going to add 0.6x to both sides. And add 4. And finally divide by 1.4. X equals 10. distribute. Combine like terms right here. So I have 5x minus 32 equals 2x minus 5. This has one solution. I'll subtract 2x from both sides. And then add 32 to both sides. And come over here. 3x equals 27. And divide by 3. X equals 9. On number 14, I'll distribute on the left, and I'll distribute on the right. That little mark here next to 5, I think, is a typo. So I think I just do 9 times x to get 9x, and 9 times negative 5, and write down minus 45. Out here, there's a minus 14x still. So we'll combine like terms on the right side. Remember, when terms are on different sides of the line, you can't combine those. So this negative 7x stays here, but the 9x and the negative 14 can combine. So I have a negative 5x minus 45 over on the right side. And now, oh no, I'll add 5x. So I have a negative 2x minus 63 equals negative 45. I'll add 63. Negative 2x equals 18. Yeah, it's an 18. Divide both sides by negative 2. So x equals negative 9. And this one we distribute. Negative 5x minus 5 equals 4x plus 40. I will, I don't know, add 5x to both sides. So negative 5 equals 9x plus 40. Subtract 40 from both sides. So negative 45 equals 9x. Finally, divide both sides by 9, and x equals negative 5. What does it mean when a solution to an equation ends with 3 equals 4? Well, these are the ones that we then put question marks on and we say there's no solution. Name 2 different ways to start solving this equation. Well, there are many different ways to start solving it. I could subtract 4x from both sides. That's one way to start. If I didn't do that, then maybe I could subtract 6x from both sides. So this is one way. Another way is subtract 6x from both sides. There are other ways. I'm just going to say them instead of writing them. I could add 8 to both sides. Like right here, I could add 8 if I wanted to. Or I could have subtracted 2 from both sides. So there really are 4 different ways of solving this equation, of starting to solve the equation. Any way you start always ends up in the same answer. Number 18, we really did not tell when we have a linear relationship or not. We haven't done that yet. It's in a future lesson. I will tell you something we did do, though, when it deals with tables. We would find the change in y over the change in x. we learned that slope equals change in y over change in x. So we would draw these arrows and say this goes up by 2 and this goes up by 5. So we would then say that the slope of table A is 2 over 5, at least the slope in that one spot, because we do change in y over change in x. If I did it again now, I get up 3 and up 5. So now the slope would be 3 over 5, which means it's not linear. So the answer is not choice A. The answer is actually choice B, because I go down 2 and then up 5, and again down 2 and up 5, and again down 2 and up 5. We said that linear functions have a constant rate of change. The rate of change, or the slope in this table, is negative 2 over 5 the whole way through. So since the slope is the same the whole way, that's why it's linear. You should be able to do 19. The y-intercept has to be a negative 2. So it can't be A, because that y-intercept looks like it's a positive 2. And it can't be C, because also it looks positive. So now we're down to choice B or D. So the next thing is this slope of negative 3. Remember that negative slopes slant downward. So it has to be choice B. And number 20, if a line contains the points in the table below, the equation of the line is. So I could do what we used to do, this change in y over change in x, and find the slope. So the first thing goes up by 12, and then up by 4. So the rate of change would be 12 over 4, which is 3. And it actually is 3 the whole way through. This goes up 3 and up 1, so that's a 3 over 1. The next one goes up 9 and up 3, and 9 over 3 is equal to 3. So the slope is 3, so it's not choice A, and it's not choice D. So it's either B or C. Do you also remember that the y-intercept is when the x value is 0? So the y-intercept is 4, so it's got to be choice B. Number 21, I'll just darken in these axes. And the slope is 3 over 1. The y-intercept is negative 1. So when I graph this, I'm going to start at negative 1, and I'm going to go up 3 to the right 1. I could go in the other direction, and you connect. You put arrows, and you label the line. Number 22, Belinda joined a new gym. It costs her $15 to become a member. This is a one-time fee. This is your y-intercept, or your B. Each month, those are key words, each month, she is charged $5 to use the gym, which means this 5 is your rate of change. So the equation is y equals 5x plus 15. And we have to graph it now. So I can't go by ones because I wouldn't be able to start at 15 on the y-axis. So I'm going to go by 5s on the y-axis. But on my x-axis, I'm going to go by ones. So So the X's stand for each month. So I'll say number of months. And the Y stands for the cost. So I have to start at 15. And then this is where you have to be careful. The slope is 5, which is really like a 5 over 1. But I don't go up 5 boxes, because if I went up 5 boxes, if I did this, which is wrong, I'm really going up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's not going up 5. So you have to look at your scale and say, I'll go up 5 and over 1. So it looks like up 1 box, over 1 box, but remember our Y scale is going by 5s. So I really am going up 5 over 1, up 5 over 1. And I connect with a line. I'm going to put an arrow. I'm going to erase my staircase. It doesn't look so nice having the steps there. And there we go, done. Next question. Use the line graph at the right to answer parts A through C. What's the slope of the line? Okay, so it's slope. Remember, you pick a point and you pick nice points and draw a step. We look at the scale to make sure we can count boxes, and we can. The scale's going by 1, so this went up 2, to the right 3, so the slope is 2/3. The y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis, which is at -4. So the equation of the line is y equals, we're going to write in the form of mx plus b, so y equals 2/3 x minus 4. Solve it algebraically. Algebraically either means by substitution or elimination. This is set up for substitution because I could put a box down here and plug it in place of y. So I'll rewrite the first equation with my substitute plugged in. -7x minus 4, and in parentheses I put my substitute, equals -3. And now we solve. Please be careful, this is a -4 that's getting distributed. So -4 times -3x is a positive 12x. -4 times 2 is a -8. Then I'll combine like terms. So 5x minus 8 equals -3. We'll add 8 to both sides. 5x equals 5. Divide by 5. X equals 1. But we're not done. Okay, don't think you're done. After you find out what x is, take this and go plug it back in. Y equals -3 times 1 plus 2. So y equals -3 plus 2. So y equals -1. The answer is 1, comma, -1. X, comma, y. If we did the next one, I would say that one is set up for elimination. The x's are lined up, the y's are lined up, the equal signs are lined up, but I need the coefficient of one of the variables to be the same number, different sign. So I'm going to multiply the top equation by a 3. So that I have a 3x, don't forget we're distributing it all the way through, minus 6y equals 3. The bottom equation, I'll leave it as is. And now I do have opposites, so I can add these equations, and 3x and a -3x eliminate. But -6y and -3y make -9y, and a -3 and 3 and negative 12 make negative 9. Divide both sides by a negative 9. Y equals 1. We're not done. We plug this back into one of the equations. I like the top one better. So x minus 2, and then in place of y, I could put the value in. So I could put in a 1. So x minus 2 equals 1. Add 2 to both sides. X equals 3. Final answer is 3 comma 1. I feel like I'm doing all these so quickly. Hopefully I'm not making any silly mistakes. I haven't been using a calculator. I haven't been doing checks because it didn't ask me to. But doing a check would be a nice thing because you'd know if you did something wrong. Number 26, we have to solve by graphing. So I want to know what m equals. In the first one, it's 2 over 1, and b equals negative 4. So I'll start at, I'm just going to darken in my axes. I don't like when they look the same color as the lines. So I'm going to start at negative 4 and go up 2 over 1. Could always go in the other direction. You should use a straight edge. And you must label. The second equation, the slope is 1/4, and the y-intercept is 3. So now we go up 1 over 4, and I found my point. It landed right there. Remember, the solution to a system is the point of intersection. Sorry, I don't have a ruler. They're crossing right here at 4 comma 4 comma 4. I have to label this line. And now I just got full credit. Number 27, the slope is negative 4. The y-intercept is 1. So I'll start at 1. I gotta darken these in. Tricks my eye. I can't see it very well when they're the same color. So I'll start at 1, and I'll go down 4 to the right 1. Label the line. Graph the other one. The slope is 1, and the y-intercept's negative 4. Always start on the y-axis. Now up 1 over 1. I found my point of intersection, which is nice. The solution is at 1 comma negative 3. Some word problems. A rental car company is running 2 specials. That's probably a hint right there that there's 2 equations, but let's keep reading. Customers can pay a flat fee. Ooh, that's a y-intercept. A flat fee of $36 to rent a compact car plus $2 per mile. Oh, that's a hint that this is a rate of change. I'm going to write that first equation. Y equals 2x plus 36. Or they can rent the same car for a flat fee, that's a y-intercept, of $24 plus $3 per mile, that's a rate of change. So y equals 3x plus 24. Max notices that the two specials are equivalent for the number of miles he needs to travel. Oh, so that really means it doesn't matter which company he chooses. But they want to know how much Max would pay in total. So if they're the same, it means that we're solving this equation, and I would do it by substitution. So we have 2x plus 36 equals 3x plus 24. I would subtract 2x from both sides. Which gives me x equals 12. But you have to be careful what your x stands for. X is right here in front of that 2. Here, $2 per mile. So my x equals the number of miles. My y equals the cost. So they say, how much would Max pay? I have to find the cost. I have to plug this 12 into one of my equations. I'll plug it into the top one. So 24 plus 36, $60. We're getting there. At a baseball game, Jose bought 5 hot dogs and 3 sodas for $13. I got it. This is a standard form question. There are 2 kinds of items, hot dogs and sodas. I'm going to let x equal the hot dogs and y equal the sodas. So 5 hot dogs and 3 sodas cost $13. And then Allison bought 1 hot dog and 2 sodas for $4. And they want the cost of a hot dog and the cost of a soda. So this is set up for elimination, but I don't have opposites, so I'm going to multiply the bottom by a -5. I'll leave the top equation the same. And the bottom equation is now a -5x minus 10y equals -20. If I add these equations together, I get -7y equals -7. And then we divide both sides by -7. Y equals 1. We want the cost. So y is a soda. So I know that soda costs $1. I'll plug this into the bottom equation. So I now found out that a hot dog costs $2. Last page. Which pair of angles are congruent? Congruent means equal in measure. So choice A, talking about angle 1 and angle 2, they're not congruent. Those are a linear pair. So the answer is not choice A. 1 and 4 are also a linear pair. So that's not choice B. Angle 2 and 3, oh, those are a linear pair. So it's not choice C. I guess it's the last one, 2 and 4. Yeah, they're across from each other. They're vertical. Vertical angles are congruent, so it's choice D. 31. Two angles in a triangle measure 27 and 76. What's the third? Oh, the triangle sum theory. It says that three angles in a triangle add up to 180. So far, 27 and 76 is 103. 180 minus 103, 77 degrees. And the last question. I'm not going to fill this stuff in just yet. I'm going to go to my picture. I look at my 95, and vertical from it is also 95 degrees. I look at my 40 and do its vertical angle, so that's 40. Now I'm going to do up here, this is a linear pair. So a linear pair makes 180, so 180 minus 95 turns out to be 85. Oh, right here, the 95 that's marked and C are corresponding, so this must be 95. There's a few things I can do, but I'm noticing this 40 here is alternate interior with angle F, so that must be 40 degrees. I see a triangle here. Three angles in a triangle make 180, so 95 and 40.
If any student left a phone on bus 13, please come to the main office.
Is 135.
Also have a fun afternoon today with
and then 180 minus 135.
There's a softball workout for girls in grades 7 through 12 today at 2:45.
Angle E must be 45 degrees.
Attention teachers, any teacher who signed out a laptop card for iReady, please check your classroom for a combination lock. If you have one,
angle G and angle F are a linear pair. So 180 minus 40 is 140. So now I can go fill in. This is an 85 degrees. On your midterm, I'll just let you know that you are going to have to state the reasons. So I did say the reasons out loud as I was doing this, but you will have to write it down for your midterm. And this does it for your first midterm review packet. You can do your second packet. Remember that second one is optional. But I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have a good 3-day weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, thanks. Bye.